Yeah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. Thank you for this nice meal we are about to eat. We have never eaten this good. We have never eaten this damn good. One Piece chapter 1108 starts off with Caribou. Caribou actually appeared at the end of the last chapter. So Caribou is telling the Blackbeard pirates, please, I want to join you. Let me join your crew. If you let me join your crew, I'll tell you where Poseidon and Pluton are. I'll tell you where Pluton is. One Augur and Katarina Devon of the Blackbeard Pirates look at the guy and they are like, you know where Pluton is? So it's kind of obvious that Blackbeard Pirates are going to get Poseidon and Pluton. And if Pluton ends up killing a lot of innocent people in future chapters, then the Straw Hat Pirates are going to be responsible for every single death. Why are the Straw Hat Pirates responsible for something that Blackbeard Pirates are going to do? Well, I made like what, 2, 3 videos explaining how the Straw Hat Pirates not going after Pluton made no sense at all. And most of the responses I got was, well, Pluton is hidden away at Wano, so who cares? It's irrelevant. It's never gonna show up again. This is probably going to be my longest, if not one of the longest chapter rants I have ever done when it comes to One Piece. Because I'm gonna have to go back and re-explain some things. I kept saying that it makes no sense at all that the Straw Hat Pirates did not care about Pluton at all. That it was 100% out of character. And I was right! I was completely right. Because now the Blackbeard Pirates are going to get Pluton because the Straw Hat Pirates were too stupid and lazy to do anything about Pluton when they had the chance. The Straw Hat Pirates at the end of Wano found out that Pluton was under Wano. They talked about Pluton for a minute and then they got distracted by a pretty girl. And everyone is like, what's Pluton? Huh? A pretty girl? We have no idea what Pluton is. This manga's writing is absolute dog shit. I refuse to believe that Oda was the person who wrote Wano and Egghead. Wano arc and Egghead arc feel like fan fiction. It feels like someone killed Oda, took his place, and is writing the manga pretending that Oda is still alive. First of all, the Pluton reveal completely destroyed my 2 favorite arcs in One Piece, Water 7 and Enies Lobby. Those 2 arcs revolved all around Pluton. The entire purpose of those arcs was to save Nico Robin. Why did the Straw Hats have to save Nico Robin? Oh yeah, because Spandam kidnapped Nico Robin. Because Nico Robin could have found out the location of Pluton. Nico Robin went through hell, like literally being tortured and shit. Because of Pluton, because they wanted her to find Pluton for them. What about Frankie? Frankie's father, Tom, was framed for a crime that he didn't do. Why? Because he refused to give the blueprints of Pluton to Spandam. The world government framed Frankie's father for a crime that he didn't do because they wanted Pluton's blueprints. The guy was sent to Impel Town and executed. Frankie's father was executed because of Pluton. Frankie's brother was almost murdered by CP9 agents because they knew that he had the Pluton blueprints. Frankie went through hell because of Pluton. So how does he react when he finds out that Pluton is under Wano? At first Frankie is like, what? Pluton is on Wano, and then a pretty girl arrives where Frankie is at, and he forgets about Pluton entirely. Never mentioned again. Oh, and by the way, Nico Robin asks Luffy, what should we do about Pluton? And Luffy's like, I don't give a shit. So now Blackbeard pirates are going to get Pluton. Why? Because the Straw Hat pirates didn't care. Because they were lazy. Because they were stupid. Nico Robin forgot that she was tortured because of Pluton. Frankie forgot that his father was murdered for Pluton. His brother was almost killed. And the Straw Hats just sailed away from Wano, leaving Pluton at Wano. Who cares? The characters are so inconsistent. It's not even funny. Well, actually, it is funny because the last two arcs have been complete nonsense. Literally nothing in the story makes any sense. That's why I said that I think that Oda was murdered and replaced. So now every single death that will be caused by Pluton, the blood will be at the hands of the Straw Hat pirates. Because they refuse to do anything about Pluton. When it comes to Water 7 and Enies Lobby, those two arcs are now 100% irrelevant. You can just skip them if you watch One Piece for the very first time. Because the main topic of those arcs is completely irrelevant in Wano. And anyone saying that, well, it's 100% in character for the Straw Hats not to care about Pluton, how can you watch Water 7 and Enies Lobby and then during Wano be like, yeah, it's completely fine that they didn't care about Pluton at all. A couple of chapters ago, it was revealed that Vegapunk had the full control over the pacifistas the entire time since the start of this arc, which creates new plot holes because why not? It turns out that Vegapunk programmed a secret message inside of the pacifistas. And if Bonnie said that message, then the pacifistas became her slaves. Bonnie said the secret message after Vegapunk whispered it to her, and the pacifistas are now under her control 100%. I have three things to say about this. First of all, Bonnie being able to control all the pacifistas reminds me of Wano arc. During Wano arc there was a little girl with the ability to pull tangos from her cheeks. She just pulled tangos from her cheeks, fed it to the pirates in the Kaido's army, and the pirates became her slaves. Because she has the ability to control animals. And this is exactly the same. Literally one arc later, oh yeah, Bonnie can control the pacifistas because Vegapunk programmed that message in the pacifistas. Literally the same thing. Oda is just reusing the same shit. The second thing I want to say is that if Vegapunk was able to control the pacifistas the entire time, why did he wait for the arc to end to do this? Why did he wait for the final moments to say that, yeah, I can actually control the pacifistas by a secret message? The moment Vegapunk made up with Bonnie, why didn't he tell Bonnie that you can control the pacifistas during that moment in like what? Chapter 1103? Why did he wait? What was he waiting for? Why did he want the pacifistas to attack them? He could have stopped the pacifistas attack literally at any moment. What's wrong with Oda's writing? Like, how does this make sense to anyone? Yeah, Bonnie, you can control the pacifistas, the same pacifistas that are attacking us right now. But let's wait a couple of chapters before I tell you the secret message. Because why not? Isn't he supposed to be the smartest character in One Piece? doesn't seem that way to me. The third and final thing I want to say about this is the fact that during the summer I made a rant video about One Piece. There was a chapter where the Marines lost the control of the pacifistas to Vegapunk for a chapter or two. Now I said that it made no sense at all for the Marines to send pacifistas after Vegapunk. You know, the creator of pacifistas. Like no shit, the guy is going to get control over the pacifistas. The guy created them. So when the Marines got the control of the pacifistas back from Vegapunk, I was yelling and saying, destroy these things now! They are going to betray you again! Just destroy these fucking things! And the world government and the Marines were like, we lost brief control over the pacifistas. Who cares? Keep sending them after Vegapunk. It will turn out fine. And like what, 20 chapters later, Vegapunk reveals that, oh yeah, Bonnie was able to control the pacifistas the entire time. How stupid are the Marines? Like seriously, how stupid is Saturn? How stupid is the world government? How can everyone in this manga be so damn incompetent? I mean, it's ridiculous. Keep sending creations of Vegapunk after Vegapunk. It will turn out fine. The next thing in this chapter that happened was the vice admirals are running away from pacifistas. Now, first of all, shouldn't the vice admirals be strong enough to defeat pacifistas? Why are they running away? I can understand Marines, regular Marines, running away from the pacifistas. But vice admirals? I'm supposed to believe that the vice admirals are not strong enough to take down pacifistas? Since when did the vice admirals become so weak in the story? One of the vice admirals decides to attack Bonnie. He gets stopped by the giants. And then another vice admiral looks at the giants and she is reminded of the fact that Jaguar D. Saul was her mentor in the Marines. This is the second time Jaguar D. Saul has been mentioned in this arc. Before I get to Jaguar D. Saul, I'm gonna talk about the giants. Why are the giants at the Egghead? Because they were probably sent by Shanks, right? When the giants first appeared on Egghead, they were like, should we call Luffy the Sun God? And that didn't make a lot of sense. Because they have met Luffy before, and not once did they ever figure out that Luffy is a Sun God. The only way the giants could have known that Luffy is the Sun God is if Shanks told them that Luffy is the Sun God. But that creates a lot of plot holes in the story. If Shanks knew that Luffy ate the Nika devil fruit, why did he abandon Luffy as a child, alone, knowing that the world government is after this devil fruit? A lot of people will say that Shanks chose Luffy as a Nika. Then why was Shanks so damn nervous when Luffy ate the devil fruit? He was literally having a heart attack. He was like, holy shit, you ate the Nika devil fruit. What the fuck? Back then it was Komu Komu no Mi. He even told Luffy to spit it out. So if Shanks knew that Luffy ate the Nika devil fruit the entire time, that the devil fruit was not actually Komu Komu no Mi, why didn't he take Luffy with him? Why did he just abandon a small child alone with the rarest, most powerful devil fruit in existence? I mean, this shit doesn't make any sense. Remember how I mentioned that one of the vice admirals mentioned Jaguar D. Saul? At the beginning of this arc, it was revealed that Jaguar D. Saul was actually alive. And that was very confusing because the character was dead for almost 2 decades. Not sure what was the point of bringing this character back. I mean, was there anyone saying that, man, One Piece is pretty good, but it would be a lot better if Jaguar D Soul came back? Like, no! No one said that. Ever! Okay, so at the beginning of this arc, it was revealed that Jaguar D Soul is alive, and now Jaguar D Soul was name dropped. We also know that the Giants are on this arc to find Luffy, and they want to bring Luffy to Elbaf, probably. So I think that the reason why Jaguar D Soul has been mentioned so many times in this arc, it's because Jaguar D Soul is a part of the Giant Pirates. And I believe that he's at Elbaf. Him and Nico Robin are going to have a reunion. I mean, it's clear at this point. Why else would Oda have this character mentioned so many times in this arc? Honestly, bringing back Saul was a really cheap move by Oda. Oda killed this character 2 decades ago, only to bring him back now. Like, what's the point? No one lost sleep because Jaguar D Soul was dead. Let's be real. This arc ends with Luffy pretty much grabbing Saturn and Kizaru at the same time, and he's about to beat the shit out of them. Wait, what? The same Luffy that was knocked out by Kizaru like 20 chapters ago is going to fight both Kizaru and Saturn. Is Luffy going to win? Like, there's no way. If Luffy now wins against Saturn and Kizaru, that just shows that there is so many inconsistencies when it comes to powers in One Piece. If Luffy defeats both Kizaru and Saturn at the end of this arc, that just proves that the power system in One Piece is completely irrelevant. I mean, Luffy defeated the strongest creature alive, easily defeated the guy. Then he was unable to defeat Luffy. I mean, Luffy just had a little boo-boo on his cheek. Then Luffy got knocked out by Kizaru. And now I'm supposed to believe that Luffy is going to take out both Kizaru and Saturn. And by the way, Saturn has a new transformation. Because why not? Saturn is apparently Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, getting a new transformation every chapter apparently. In the last chapter, Saturn used his spider leg or whatever it is to stab through Vegapunk, and Vegapunk had a massive hole in his torso. In this chapter, Vegapunk is somehow still alive, talking and breathing. Remember when Ace died from something like this? So yeah, Ace dies when his torso gets punched through, right? But when an elderly man gets a massive sharp thing going through his torso, creating a massive hole, somehow he doesn't die instantly. At the end of the chapter, Kizaru shoots another hole in Vegapunk. The guy is covered in holes. Also, Sanji was holding Vegapunk, telling Vegapunk, please don't die, man, please don't die. What do you mean, don't die? The guy has 2 massive holes in his body. At this point, Vegapunk is like Swiss cheese, okay? The guy is covered in holes. He should be dead instantly. Like, there is no way that at the beginning of the next chapter, the guy is still alive. I mean, Ace died from 1 massive hole, and Vegapunk has 2. If Vegapunk is still somehow alive at the next chapter, I'm gonna lose my mind. More than it's already lost. Anyways, Luffy probably will defeat Kizaru and Saturn because the power levels don't make any sense. Well, actually nothing makes any sense. The reason why Luffy is even able to defeat these 2 guys is because they just allowed Luffy to recover because they are idiots. After Kizaru defeated Luffy, Luffy was literally on the ground, helpless, defenseless. Saturn and Kizaru were just like, yeah, let's just do nothing. Okay, Kizaru, you're gonna stand here and do nothing, and I'm gonna stand in this spot and do nothing. Oh, Luffy's recovering. Hey, you, random, nameless Marines, go stop Luffy. Yeah, I know that you guys are like so weak that Nami can sneeze on you and you will die. But you random Marines, go stop the number one threat to the world government, please. Go do it. Go arrest this guy. Also, Saturn called for the destruction of the entire island. He called for a buster call. When has a character ever been arrested during a buster call? Why did Saturn tell a bunch of Marines to arrest Luffy during a buster call when during a buster call it's clear that everyone must die? That's the point of a buster call. You don't take prisoners during that. Go look at chapter 1105. Saturn spent the entire chapter chatting with Vegapunk. Kizaru just spent more than half of the chapter just standing, and Luffy was right behind them, slowly recovering. And because Saturn and Kizaru are both absolute morons apparently, Luffy has now recovered fully, has turned into Gear 5, and Luffy is going to beat the shit out of both of them. Anyways, to the One Piece reviewers that are reading this manga, claiming that it's a masterpiece, I have one thing to ask. Are you guys on drugs or something?